All right, all right. It is Friday night, and I'm sitting here in the frigid cold in northwest Mississippi, and we're starting a new thing on Friday nights. So I see Mary Ranch is here. How are you, Mary? Hope you're doing good. I see you're using our custom emojis for members only. And Brian at Castle Hives is here. He's showing off the emojis. He's a member, and both of you guys are members of the Brotherhood of the Hats. So just waiting for some more folks to show up. Hopefully they'll show up. Just got to make sure I'm operating two different laptops. One to see the the comments, and the other to deal with StreamYard. So So this what we're going to start doing every Friday is we're gonna focus on one of our His Way Homestead members, and we're going to do like a little interview process. So, hey, we got NKY Honeybees. Good evening. How are you? Kinfolk Farmer Georgia. Shane, how you doing? Robert Castleberry, PAD Life Outdoors. Good to see you. Hope you're feeling okay. Robert just had surgery yesterday morning and is recovering from that, doing good. So, Shane, I wanted to show you. Let's see, I've got it here. Bear with me. I'm going to hide both our addresses, but this is your envelope that you sent me. I don't know if you can see that, but the post office had to put it in another envelope because it was so shredded. Hey, Sandy at Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming. Bama Bees and Outdoors. Jason, how you doing? Man, we got everybody in here. Good deal. We got a lot of folks. So what I was saying was Friday nights, for a while, we're going to do a focus on members of His Way Homestead. Hey, Simply Southern Roots. And we're going to do like a little interview process. We're going to talk, and hopefully, I don't know if it'll help your channel or hurt your channel, but we're going to give you an opportunity to promote your channel, get folks a chance to know you better, and hopefully it'll be a good thing for everybody. So I want to give back to my members and just kind of try to help out. Hey, Daughter of the King, how are you? All right, yeah, we got it, and you might have to get some. You might have to do a video on how to plant it, Shane. It's the glass gem corn, right? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. Somebody was talking about it on another live stream that I saw, and they said it makes really good popping corn. So, kind of excited about that. All right, without any further ado, I'm going to bring up my special guest if he's ready. Tonight, we're focusing on Brian at Castle Hives. So if you're not a subscriber to Brian at Castle Hives, go check out his channel, go watch some videos, leave a comment, hit the like button, and subscribe to him. He is just gone through a nice little growth spurt with his channel. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So bear with me, folks, if I'm not too active in the chat. I'm going to be focusing on Brian and talking with him. We're going to find out more about Brian. So, how you doing, Brian?
Good, Doug. How are you?
I'm doing good. Let me make you a little bit bigger. There you go.
There we go. Wow.
Yeah. So, what is the weather like in Ohio, where you're at?
We were in a warm spell today, and I'll tell you what the temp is. Let's see here. It's almost shorts weather. It's 21.
21. I think we hit we were above 30 today for the first time in a week.
Wow. We are supposed to, and I have this date drilled into my head. On the 27th, we're supposed to break, into the 40s. So we have one day next week that we're supposed to be in the 40s, but then it'll taper down. But then after the 27th, we're supposed to be highs, in the 40s each day. So I think
Yeah,
Mother
I think
Nature's going to spare us.
yeah. Next week is supposed to be in the 50s here, and I think we have a couple days it'll be like 63. So it's gonna be
Oh,
kind of crazy. So everything will be melted. It'll be just a muddy mess.
yeah.
So we did. Let's see. We got Henry Leslie Vermont's in the house. Of course, we got Sandy. Sandy, super awesome. Sandy. She just hit
Yes.
50K.
50.
50K.
Yeah.
So she is awesome.
Yeah. I
And she's a
have my
member.
reminder. I have my reminder set for the 50K celebration.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. And I need to set up my um, 3K and also our 1 year celebration. It's just been hard. This week has been hard
Yeah.
with Shelly partially tearing her calf muscle and
Right.
trying to work in the cold weather and the furnaces out and everything else. It's been crazy around here.
Difficult. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Brian, Castle Hives, that's your YouTube channel.
That's it.
When when did you start?
Oh my gosh. I started so, and the only reason why I remember this video is because I recently did um, more or less, I guess, an interview. I was a guest on the La La Farm,
Oh,
and
okay.
the very first video that I have up on my channel is actually a drone video.
Hmm.
And I was working at the time in the Carolinas. Um, and I then, and that's been, 5 or so years ago. Um, I more transitioned, it was my name. It was Brian Coper, and that was just my YouTube. And I
Hmm.
would just throw stuff on there. I think it was more just as like a data storage. I thought, well, I have these videos, but I need to store them somewhere,
Oh,
and let me
okay.
upload them on YouTube.
Yeah.
Um, but when I
So it's
got the
all
bees, oh, go ahead.
so it's mostly just for your personal use, right?
Right. And when I got the bees, it was more, well, let me figure out a name because I wanted to share, my, I guess, journey into beekeeping with family and friends that were out of the area, out of the state. And I
Hmm.
thought, well, I can film stuff and put them on there. And I just thought of Castle Hives. Castle is my mom's maiden name. So, and
Hmm.
my
Okay.
grandfather actually was a beekeeper. So, I just thought, yeah,
That's pretty
Castle
cool.
works. Yeah, yeah. Um, but I just thought Castle kind of works, and Castle Hives it just fit. And then I've kind of gone off with the names. I had Maine Castle Hive. Um, I actually one of my viewers named Buckingham. You know, and that kind of I'll tell you a little bit of the backstory about that. Elizabeth, with Buckingham Palace, there's Queen Elizabeth.
Hmm.
Um, Elizabeth was my grandma's name.
Oh,
So
okay.
when someone had said Elizabeth, I thought, and I mentioned that to my mom. I just, I like naming the hives. And
Hmm.
um, when someone said Elizabeth, and I said, well, that's my grandma's name. Um, I did a contest, hey, name a hive. And someone said Buckingham with Queen Elizabeth. And I
Yeah,
thought,
that's pretty cool.
that's it. So, but it's just been a journey, it has.
So how long ago was it when you actually named it Castle Hives, your channel?
It's it's probably been 4 years ago, April.
Okay. So is that when you really started to produce videos for other people to watch and less
Yep.
of your personal storage?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's been a
Yeah.
journey, right? Now, what made you decide to transition from just your own personal video storage to, hey, I'm going to start making content for people?
Yeah, I don't know. I just once I so when I got into beekeeping, and it's more around my mom. She wanted to get a hive,
Hmm.
and she wanted to get a flow hive, and there's a story behind that. But the more I got looking into it, I just thought, wow, beekeeping, that's kind of, you know, it's not it's not a common hobby, so to say. I don't have a single, well, I have met some people through beekeeping, but prior to my getting into beekeeping, I didn't know a single other person that did it. And I just thought this is an interesting thing, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And the more that I dug into it, that I researched, it just, and I mean, you're a beekeeper.
well,
It's just, it's
I'm not really a
fascinating.
beekeeper. I'm not really a beekeeper. I've got a box out there with some bees in it. I would,
You're a beekeeper.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just letting them survive. I'm just trying to stay out of their way, let them do their thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I see
so,
Jesse.
yeah, so a lot of folks, Keto Homestead with Jess. We got, of course, Jason at Bama Bees and Outdoors. He's a
Yeah.
member. Um, yeah, we got a lot of folks. Where are we at now? We got 9. We did have a few more. So probably NKY Honeybees is probably one of your viewers.
He is. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Rosie Side
Yeah.
Farm and Homestead is here. Good to have you. So so it was like 4 years ago that you really started putting content out. Is that
Mhm.
when you got your hives too?
It is. Yeah. So one of the first videos, and I tell you, I went back and looked at it not that long ago, and
Hmm.
the title was, something like putting bees in a flow hive. And
Mm,
whenever you title something flow hive, you're going to get a couple hits.
yeah.
I think that video has 400 or so views, and for me, that
Oh,
was, I just thought, wow,
that's not
you know, that's great. I
got
see
you hooked.
Ray here, Norseman Honey.
Yeah. Norseman
Um,
Honey's here.
and, so that was more or less my very first video. I did that one, and
Mm,
I did the old dumped them. I opened it up and I dumped them in, and tried not to squish a single little bee because every single
hmm.
little bee mattered.
Hmm.
But then I did a video a week. It was like week 1 check, week 2 check,
Hmm.
um, and that was it. But it was more to, like I said, share with friends, share with family. Um, and like my brother, he lives about an hour away, so it was an easy way that even with him being an hour away, hey, instead of him driving down, I could say, well, I'll just do a video and I'll share it.
Yeah.
So
Good way to keep family in touch, right?
yeah, yeah, and that's it. That's it. So
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
900 miles away from my family, so it's a good way for them to keep up with what we're doing here.
yep,
Uh,
yeah,
so, you do more than just beekeeping.
I do.
You want to talk about some of that? There's a couple different things, right? You
I
you
do. Yeah,
you like to
I
do things outdoors
I
with
do. I do.
something called a Keltec. Is that the name of it? Your
Rectech.
grill? Rectec.
It's Rectech. Oh,
Keltec is completely different.
right. And if anyone from Rectech is watching, I didn't butcher your name. It's Rectech with the
Rectec.
horns. Yeah, I do, and yeah, and you know what got me into that really? Well, I can't say um, that uh, this other channel got me into it. Um, I've always loved a barbecue. I love to grill
Mm.
out. But that grill, um, a physician that I worked with actually told me about that type of grill. And I had been looking at like pellet smokers for a little while. And he told me about it. And when I looked him up, I thought, this is it. Um, and yeah, and I love cooking on that thing. So
Yeah.
I do share a little bit on there. When the weather, the problem now, and it's the only reason why I haven't put anything with that grill in a little bit, is just because it's so cold. Um, it does a pretty good job regulating its temps, but it just
Hmm.
burns through pellets like crazy, just
Uh,
trying to keep up the temp. Because when it's
okay.
10 degrees outside and you want it 350, it
Hmm.
keeps it within 5 degrees, but it's just steady pumping those pellets. And
Yeah.
I just don't want to, I don't want to
How
spend the money on the pellets.
how big of a reserve does it have for your pellets? How many
It
pellets
has
will
a,
it hold?
it has a 40-pound hopper,
Wow.
so it's got a big hopper. And as far as efficiency, now I think what sold me on RecTech was there were a couple things. It's just the build quality is just superb, um, and it's made in the USA. So that was
Hmm.
another. When I saw that, I thought, yeah, support the American companies. Um, but the company themselves, they do not sell in stores, and their whole thought process is we would rather have the reviews of our customers be our salesmen.
Yeah.
And that way, by eliminating the middleman, they could keep the cost down to where they're at because they're not that cheap. Um, so if I had to go to a Home Depot or a Lowe's and buy them, you'd add on probably $600 or $700. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but and as far as efficiency though with the grill, it runs. If you, I think they did a study between a Traeger and a Rectech, and at like a 68-degree temperature, it burned 1/4 of the amount of pellets versus the Traeger.
Wow.
So
So
the
it's a lot more
efficiency,
efficient. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Well, let me ask you this too. You've got a really nice intro to your videos.
I
You got a lot of
do.
close up with slow motion bees flying. You got that honey dripping down in there. Oh my word, that looks incredible. And there's a story behind that, isn't it?
There is, and I can't say where I met him, but there's a channel, and he actually has become a friend. We text just how you and I text. It's actually the Grill Sergeant, and
Hmm.
that's you know that's what more or less got me into filming some of the grilling videos. But
Hmm.
he does video editing for, I forget which channel, but he lives in Hollywood. He does film editing, and we talked a lot. And he pinged me one day. He sent me an email and said, "Let me know what you think of this. I have something that will help your channel." And he sent me that intro, and I was just like, I mean, blown away. I was just speechless. I was, what, do you want me to pay anything to you? And he said, no. He said, I just
Hmm.
helping friends out. You know, I
That's
have
awesome,
no idea how
and
he
it
did it.
looks really, really good. It's
Yeah,
it's pretty impressive.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I've checked out some of his videos, and man, he's got a lot of stuff going on
His
for sure.
editing is, yeah, yeah, yeah. Andrew's a good guy. He is. He honestly, he's a good guy.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and another thing, you've got really great taste in hats. So Brian Brian is a member of His Way Homestead. and also a
Yes.
member of the Brotherhood of the Hats. He's one of,
Yes.
I think you're one of the core members for sure. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's like a trio that we have core members, and of
Yep.
course my dad's the first member.
The original.
So, yeah, and he's got a hat
Yeah.
just like what Brian has.
Yeah. I
Um,
love this hat.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad you do. I'm glad you do. So I was gonna ask you something. I forget what it was though. Um, so you got bees, you do grilling stuff, and you're also just started filming some other activities that you're doing as far as outdoor type. Um,
Yeah.
how do we want to say this? You're making freedom seeds.
So I was on a stream the other day, and when the actual topic of it was that, and I just I want to be careful with. You have to kind of, I guess, be careful with when you're filming things, your verbiage. So,
Hmm.
and the one girl that was in the panel thing also, she knew that I was struggling in how to define that. So she said, "You
Yeah,
make things that go pew pew." I said, "Yes." So,
yeah, yep.
yeah,
So yeah, and I don't think there's any problem with saying reloading. Um,
yeah,
and if there is, I probably just got pinged, right? But I've been in reloading, and I've done that for quite a while. I had a business doing it. I um,
really,
had an FFL license for remanufacturing
wow.
ammunition. Yeah, yeah. Um, but it didn't last long because I
Hmm.
was a partner with somebody, and
Oh, okay,
it's hard. It's really hard to be
yeah.
partners with somebody. It's much easier
It,
to be in business for yourself.
it
Um,
it is when you're partners with someone. I guess you both have to somewhat be on the same page and have the same vision.
yeah,
And if there's
and I
any variance, you're
yeah
just, yeah,
yeah,
it's
and
not
and
going
I
to
don't.
be
I haven't seen too many people that have actually been on the same page enough
good.
to
Yeah.
make that work. So, like, what was it last week? How many subscribers did you have?
I started out last Saturday with 906. And um, a channel that I follow, um, and he's got a little bit. I see my Bosnian buddy there, Brian. Take me to the range. Okay, I'll come down to Florence, Kentucky, and I will. Um, but he's got 20 some thousand subs, and he shouted me out. And I was doing a live stream at the time, and I saw all kind of people from his channel start coming in, and I thought,
Hmm.
okay, this is. And I knew what was happening because I was actually in one of his streams, and we were just doing that to other people. And he likes to support a lot of smaller channels.
Yeah,
He likes to help out those that support him.
yep.
So, um,
You can go ahead and say the name.
yep, it's Prepping 101. Um,
Hmm.
and sometimes he gets into some topics sometimes that people, um, sometimes they get talking about the conspiracy stuff and that. And, but his thing is he will let anyone come onto his panel and talk about whatever you want. And his thing also, and he'll tell people, respect another person's opinion. Just
Yeah.
because you might not agree with it doesn't mean it's wrong. And he'll get into a big discussion, you know, about whatever topic, you want. And
Hmm.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that someone with all those followers will let just
Yeah.
anyone,
So we
you
got
know.
Rick from La La Farm showed up.
I see
Good to
Rick.
have you.
Yeah.
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 So he shouted you out, got a raid on your live, and now what happened
Um,
during that? How many subscribers did you get?
This last week, I've gone up 500.
That's crazy. So you are at 1.4K right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last week you were at 900 something. This week you're
906,
at
and
1.4K.
I'm at 1400 and something now, and it really it blew my mind just because, Saturday I expected that live to have a lot of views, and that's just because that raid that happened.
Hmm.
Um, and then I put out a video just about losing, the beehives,
Yeah.
and that video has 300 and some views on it, and each really since Saturday, um, everything that I've done has had two to three times,
Hmm.
4 times the amount of exposure that I had before.
There's
So
trapping with Jinx. How you doing? Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, how exciting is that when you kind of in just
I
one day you just explode?
when I got off of that live stream on Saturday, to be honest, I, I I felt like a kid that was walking out of like his favorite Sunday store, and just
Hmm.
got this huge banana split Sunday that I hadn't been able to have in 5 years, and I just got that
Hmm.
Sunday, and it was just like, I, you know, it's and it's YouTube. I mean, I understand it's YouTube, but I've always said, if my channel didn't really take off, I was fine.
Hmm.
I've always said those that like you and Kevin and just that core people that I talk to, those that support me, I appreciate every single one of them. But if the channel took off a little bit, it's also exciting. You know,
Yeah, you're not going to turn that down, are you?
it's
So,
exciting.
so the big next thing is your 4,000 watch hours. So,
Yeah.
what are you currently at with your watch hours?
I'm a little halfway over that now. So, um,
Two
tw-
2,000 what?
21 or 22, I had looked. So,
Okay.
but now, like I said, in the last month, um, and prior to this, I might have had 100 watch hours. In the last month, I've gotten 500 and something.
Wow.
So, yeah. So
And it
everything since last Saturday has kind of just it's gotten
exploded.
it's yeah,
Everything's gotten better. And
yeah, like
the more subs
Saturday.
you get, the more that'll happen. So that's really
Yeah.
exciting. I'm so happy for you, Brian. So the other thing, if everybody in this live stream, with all 11, uh, if you have time and you have hey, Southern Blessed Homestead, I didn't see you sneak in there.
Oh,
Is it
there they are. I
Mac,
see them.
Mac or Patty or so? If you have bandwidth and you have an inkling to help Brian out, if you wouldn't mind rolling his channel and start getting him some watch hours. Hey, the Hobby Farm Homestead, how are you doing? So Mary is an awesome supporter of His Way Homestead, and she is just unbelievable. I mean, you want Mary on
She's
your side because she is just awesome. Hey, not so
yeah,
remote Alaska, how you doing? So Mac and Patty here. So I like to call Mac and Patty mac and cheese because I like mac and cheese and I like mac and Patty. Have you thought out any yet, Mac and Patty? Robert Castleberry just hit 20 hours. That's hey,
nice.
when you're first starting out, man, everything is exciting.
Yeah,
Everything.
yeah. I know Mary Ranch messaged me the other day saying that she was running my playlist, and I just
Yeah,
it's just that support from every one of you. It just
yeah,
blows my mind. It does. It's
yeah. It gives you hope in mankind,
yeah.
right? That's
Well,
amazing.
it's the one thing that I'll say positive that came out of 2020 is
Yeah.
that um, I met folks like you.
No,
It
and in
just
spite of that,
and that's serious. I just meeting folks like you, and just the others that we text. Um, one thing that YouTube did in 2020 for me was I feel like I met a lot of friends that I'm probably going to have for a good number of years. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, a lot of good friends.
yeah. It's not just anybody you can share beaver jerky with, right? That's a special kind of friend.
I haven't gotten the beaver jerky yet.
James is working on it. So NKY honeybees had. Oh, let me. I keep forgetting I can do that. Had 4 shorts get 1K or so views and got so many subs from it. It's encouraging. I don't care about subs much, but it is exciting. I really
Yeah.
enjoy meeting people and use it for bee questions. Yeah, and it is exciting. It's amazing. I'm constantly amazed at how well my channel's doing. I'm like,
Mhm.
why would anybody want to watch the stuff that I put out? you know. Um,
But
so we're
look at the title of your channel.
well, and that's part of it. We're trying really hard to do things the right way. So,
Mhm.
um, but it's still. I mean, my first goal was, hey, Michael's Adventures, how are you? Was to I wanted to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I figured it was going to take a year to do it.
Yeah.
Well, it was 6 months, maybe less,
Hmm.
and then I wanted to get monetized, and it was like just another month or two. Thank you, Sandy. Love you too so much.
She's
You and
awesome.
you and Joe both are just incredible people, and one day I'm going to meet you in person for sure. And and at our first year anniversary, we had over 3,000 subscribers. So
That's awesome.
far exceeded what I had hoped for in the first year.
Hmm.
And right now we're at like 342,000 views, which just
Wow.
like that's a lot of people watching a lot of videos.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
a lot of that was the shorts. A lot of our growth came from short videos for sure.
Mhm.
Um, and then I think once you start getting higher up the whole algorithm thing, you get promoted more by YouTube, and it just makes things so much easier to a certain point. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Daughter of the King, your name definitely caught my eye too. That's you know
Hmm.
I really appreciate that. And I don't want to. I don't take that name lightly, as an extra burden of responsibility. I don't want to misrepresent um, my Lord and Savior at all. I don't want to bring shame on him. So it's not something that we did lightly with that name.
Hmm.
But anyway, this is all about you, Brian. Castle Hives. So what other things can we expect out of Castle Hives in the future? What you got going on?
Um, you know,
Well, you had some sad news.
I did. I went into the winter and I had 5 hives, and I've lost 4 of them.
Hmm.
And prior to this year, so last year I said, I wanted 8 hives. I
Hmm.
just, and it's more, if you look at the banner on my channel, it says backyard beekeeping, and that's all I am. I'm not, I don't have any interest in ever going commercial or getting into any type of business. Um, thank you, Robert. It's just more of like a backyard beekeeping.
Hmm.
Um, and I lost 4 of the 5. But that whole experience, yes, it is. A lot of folks would look at it and just immediately focus on the negative. But the way that I look at it is, well, I can look at this whole experience here and um, somebody said exactly what I'm. Hobby Farm says summer shandy. That's funny. But Hobby Farm, that's good. But the way that I look at this whole losing those hives is it's a lesson, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of lessons that we learn throughout life, and I look at it,
Hmm.
well, what what can I maybe do differently moving forward with within my apiary, within the hives, um, to better prepare them for the winters, to better protect them against mites. So I looked at it in a positive way, in that while I learned a lesson, and also, I've already, even though I've lost some, I already have lined up that I'm getting a couple, packages. A friend of mine said that he would give me a split from his hives, and the only reason why I'm taking like the packages is I have all of those frames that are already built out, have
Hmm.
honey on them, have pollen. So when I put those bees in there, instead of them having to really work right from the get go, they can just get going. They've got all that
Yeah.
drawn out comb. So I'm just
Yeah. They're
looking at
not.
it in a positive manner.
Yeah, they're not drawn out comb. They're storing honey. They're making honey.
That's it.
So Lala Farm says I would be happy just to keep a hive alive the whole year. So far, he's 0 for 3 after 3
Oh,
years.
wow.
That's hard. Yeah, I'm hoping my one hive survives
Yeah.
the winter. I mean, especially with this brutal cold. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it got
Yeah.
warm that one week when I was in Maryland, and Shelly posted a video of the bees out and about, and had to get some advice from some other beekeepers saying, "Hey, what exactly is going on here?" Because they just look like
I
they're
saw that.
going
The
going
orientation
crazy.
flies.
Yeah, they were orienting,
Mhm.
so they were new bees that were leaving the hive for the first time
Yep.
and orienting to the hive so that they were coming in there. So
Yeah.
yeah, hey, if you need any advice on how to catch a swarm, just let me know. I'll teach you how to dump them down your face.
Yeah. You
So
know,
yeah,
I see two folks here have a question that more or less is on the same kind of hitting on the same topic. It's
this one
about,
here.
yeah, that one, and then not so remote want to get into beekeeping, not so remote Alaska, just don't know as far. Let me see here.
Oh, Jason,
Uh,
thank you so much
just
for
so
the
much to
super chat.
invest to start. So typically, what I say is this, and I've told everyone this. When I very first started into beekeeping, I could not find a local mentor. I couldn't find a good bee group, bee club. Um, I tell everyone, find a local bee club and see if you can find a mentor. If there's anyone in your area that's in beekeeping, and typically a lot of beekeepers are very helpful. If I had someone that was in my area that got a hold of me and, hey, I'm interested in beekeeping, come on over. I'll show you, and get that hands on experience. So, and that hands on experience is worth its weight in gold. And I tell people to find someone local just simply because, like what you do in Alabama, Doug, and what I do in Ohio, beekeeping is somewhat similar, but the seasons are different. So,
Yeah,
what you do in March might be entirely different than what I do in Ohio in March.
yeah.
So I'll tell everyone, you know, find a local club, see if you can get a mentor, and then get
Hmm.
that experience.
Yeah.
And then as far as also like the equipment, um, from my experience, stay away from that expensive stuff like Flow Hive and all that, just because you don't need that. You can find, if you have Amish in your area, you can get you can get cheaper equipment that is very good quality, and it'll last for a long time.
Yeah.
So
So yeah. So a couple things. Oh, I'm getting an echo. So definitely want to thank Jason at Bama Bees and Outdoors. Thank you so much for the super chat. You're great too. Really appreciate you. So let's see. We got the Hobby Farm said, "Oh snap, you're from Ohio. Me too." So you got a neighbor there. He's
he
in
says
Northeast.
Northeast Ohio. That's where I'm at.
There you go. Sounds like you guys need to partner up.
Hmm.
There's
I
M.
wonder where.
Pedmar. Margie, how you doing? So, and it's my understanding too that Brian, you're a huge University of Alabama fan.
Uh,
And you're thinking about Alabama so much that you said that I lived in Alabama. I'm in Northwest Mississippi.
that's where I got. Yeah, that is right, because I got confused with all that. Yeah.
No, it's all good. No,
Uh,
Brian's a fair weather Ohio State fan, and
and you got the other one started too. We got Jason now that's going to start.
roll tide, Jason.
Mm.
So let's see here. We got a question here from NKY Honeybees. Any program where you can donate a hive to help people start, like a package or a nuke? I would think going through your local bee club.
Mm. Yeah.
And I'm not a beekeeper expert by no means, but
Yeah.
we had
I'm not
wanted
either.
to. My wife wanted to do bees for a long time, and we actually went to the local. I'm all tied up here. I don't know what's going on. I'm all twisted. It's driving me crazy. So we actually went to the local bee club in Memphis and
Mm.
sat in on quite a few meetings, and
Oh,
we
wow.
actually won some door prizes. We had some equipment and everything, and we were ready to pull the trigger.
Awesome.
We actually got the hive boxes and everything. I was ready to put them together and all that, frames and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and we were ready to pull the trigger to order a nuke, and we were like, nope, we don't want to do it.
Wow.
So we ended up getting rid of everything and just kind of put it on the back burner. And then I found the horizontal hive information. I was like, that is more appealing to me, and I want
Yeah.
to try that. So I went and I built some swarm traps, probably about nine swarm traps.
You caught one.
Little overkill, and built a horizontal hive, and we ended up catching one, a swarm, and they've
You
been
did.
doing good. That was back in May, and they're still doing pretty decent.
Good.
So,
Good.
but I built everything. I built the frames. I did everything with it.
Wow.
So you can do it if
You
you have
can.
some carpentry skills, some
Mhm.
woodworking skills. You can save a lot of money by making everything yourself.
And I'll tell
Now,
you, those out there that, if, like what Doug's saying, if if you can work with, if you're not bad with woodworking, there are plenty of sites out there that list, the different designs for hives, and you could build it. I do know, and Doug, I'll connect you with NKY honeybees. He just built, yeah, like he said there. He built 7 horizontal hives over this winter.
said
So,
he built them using much of my video. Wow,
yep,
that's pretty cool.
yeah,
I still got to build my second one.
Mhm.
And
I follow him on Instagram and everything, and I saw him all laid out, in his backyard, and so yeah, he's very, um, he's done a pretty good job on the horizontals.
yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool. Um, I don't, and it just appealed to me. It seemed like it made sense. Um, yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Hey, Yellow House on the Hill, how you doing? Glad to have you in here. So we're interviewing Brian at Castle Hives. He's a member of His Way Homestead and a great supporter. And he's a member of the Brotherhood of the Hats. If you don't know what that is, shoot me an email. We'll talk about it. We have more hats coming on their way. They're ordered. I don't know when I'll get them, but we'll see how that goes. So yeah. So you've got to rebuild. You got to build your colonies back up. They uh,
Yeah,
they took a hard hit, and that was sad to see. Um, but you've got a plan, and
I,
I'm sure you'll be able to recover from it.
yeah, I do. I've got a plan. The original hive stand that I had is kind of closer to my mom's house.
Hmm.
I'm going to move that now. Last year, it was towards the beginning of last year, I built a new hive stand, and it's in a fenced area. It was in a I think it's 100 by 100 fenced, and it's where my
Hmm.
mom had some goats. So there's goat fencing. I think it's 4 foot fencing. Um, and she doesn't have the goats anymore, and it was still there. So I thought, well, and I had asked, can I put my hives in the fenced area, keep it away from predators and that? And yeah,
Hmm.
sure. And so I'm going to actually move my original hive stand, just disassemble it and put it all over there. And I do have a plan. The new stand from last year, I'm going to add about 4 feet onto that. That way I can fit probably a good 6 or so hives on that stand. Um, when I move this one over, I can fit 3 or 4 on it comfortably. And
Hmm.
then if I can, it just depends mainly on if I have this hive that survives and just on how what I end up getting, how they build up. I'm going to get into queen rearing. Um, and I plan on building just a small, maybe 2 foot by 2 foot square stand that's
Hmm.
probably about 2.5 feet or so high that's going to be for my mating nukes. So I got those little styrofoam mini mating nukes, and I want to build a stand that's about 6 or 8 feet off from the others. That's just for my mating nukes, so that I can ratchet strap them down, and because they're little teeny styrofoam hives,
Yeah,
they'll you
they'll
know
blow away. Yeah,
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 plan and
yeah,
should work.
yeah. I mean, and it's all a learning experience, right?
Yep, that's
Um,
it.
so Rick asked, how long have I been beekeeping? Well, since May of 2020. That's when we caught the swarm, and I haven't been doing it long, and I'm not doing much other than just trying not to kill the bees. So, Yellow House on the Hill is his way name. I'm assuming you're saying Christian name.
Yeah.
Yeah, his way is God's way. So,
Mhm.
everything on our homestead, we're trying to give honor and glory to our Savior, and we want everything to be natural, right? God's way, more of a natural, not a manufactured, man-made, whatever. No GMO, no anything like that. Um, it is just um, back to basics where we look at things from a perspective of like what can we learn from what the people did during the Great Depression. They survived. They did things without money, without resources, and they
Hmm.
survived. So what can we learn from that? And so we do a lot of stuff with um, food preservation. We grow a lot. My wife grows a lot of stuff in the garden. We have a lot of animals and a lot of different things like that. So that's the whole focus on our channel. And we put the channel together basically so that we could reach more people and try to help them be more uh, self-sufficient as well.
Hmm.
So it's our opportunity to teach people. So somebody else had something up here. Oh, where was it? I saw something that scrolled through. Hmm. I guess I missed it. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at. My wife has her own channel too. Um, oh, cool. Believe on the cross. That's awesome.
Hmm.
I like it.
Believing the Cross is Yellow House on the Hills, um,
Yeah.
separate channel.
Yep. That's cool. That's very cool. So good to have you. It's great to meet new believers, and stuff like we have a post on our community tab where if you have a prayer request, you can leave your prayer request, and we review that on our Sunday night live, so that not only do we have a list of people's prayer requests in the YouTube world, but other people can go look at that and use that as a prayer list too, so that they can pray for other folks. So, oh, I know what it was. Robert Castleberry said his way is the only way. Well, there's a lot of ways, but I think his way is the best way. Not
Yeah.
all ways are good ways. So yeah. Oh, that's cool. Sunday morning service. So we have a late Sunday evening uh, live stream, and like I said, we review it, and then we have just an open time to talk, and sometimes we get into more of a biblical talk, and sometimes we just kind of get goofy, you know. Yeah. So yeah, we raise. There's very little meat that we buy anymore. We'll go out and buy a big steak or something, and
Hmm.
definitely we definitely buy bacon. We don't have a we don't have a way to do our own bacon yet. I want to
Yeah.
start raising some pigs.
I was just
I
going to
grew.
say you need to.
What's that?
You need to get some pigs.
I know. It's hard. So I'm slowly gathering the equipment so that we can process our own pigs. And
Yeah.
I have a neighbor with a front end loader on his tractor, so that makes it more helpful too. So
Yeah.
all of our animals, we only raise animals that we can process ourselves. I don't want
Hmm.
to go to some processor. So we have meat rabbits, we have chickens for
Quail.
eggs and for meat, and
The quail.
yeah, absolutely. We have quail. We have and we have honeybees. We just started honeybees, and we're hoping that eventually we'll be able to get some meat sheep. That was kind of our next big adventure.
Hmm.
With everything that's going on this past year, we were like, let's hold off a little bit on that. Yep, and we do freeze dried Fridays.
Yep. The quiche.
We've done yeah, we did quiche this Friday. She's got to do some more. We had a bunch of them
Mhm.
lined up, and we
Yeah.
need to keep going with that. But she does a great job with it. Not everybody can afford a freeze dryer, and we were blessed to be able to get that. And
Mhm.
most of the food that you freeze dry will last 25 years. It's an incredible shelf life.
Really?
Um, yeah, yeah, it's amazing.
Wow.
Um, and it's light too, so it's not like a bunch of heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And if you do lose power, we don't have to worry about it being ruined from thawing out in the freezer.
Do, how do you? Can you just store that on the shelf then?
It has to be in a special Mylar bag,
Hmm.
and you put oxygen absorbers in it, and yeah, it can store on a shelf.
Wow,
Yeah, it's pretty cool, Rick. There's a
that's
lot of work with it
interesting.
too. It's a very long process. It takes a while, and you have to take the main pump apart and clean it really good after like every 10 things that you freeze dry.
Hmm.
But it's a lot of fun to play around with different stuff. So, but do your homework before you try it, because there's some things you don't want to put in your freeze dryer, and it can make a mess and make cleaning it a lot worse.
Hmm. Ice cream?
You can freeze dry ice cream. A lot of people do ice cream sandwiches. We
Really?
haven't done it yet, and that's one of those things where you really got to rely on some folks that have done it, because
Mhm.
there's certain brands of ice cream sandwiches that do well, and there's some that don't. And when I say they don't, it kind of like not blows up, but it just kind of makes a mess
I would
in your
freeze dry so
freeze
many
dryer.
ice cream sandwiches, it would be crazy.
But the thing you have to be careful of, yeah, they are, and the commercial freeze dried foods are crazy expensive, mostly because machinery to do is expensive. It's a long process, and
Hmm.
it takes a lot. So what we wanted to do with the Freeze Dry Friday was people send in their ideas. Hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you try this? And if we try it, we were gonna freeze dry it and send samples back to them. So if their idea got picked, so if you see a Freeze Dry Friday, leave a comment in the on the video and say, hey, why don't you try this?
Hmm. So I know, and this is more or less like a Christmas cookie. Have you ever heard of Buckeyes?
Yeah, it's not a cookie. It's one of my
It's
favorites actually.
peanut butter and it's dipped in chocolate.
Yeah,
But Buckeyes they're excellent. It's like a number one food. Number one.
yeah,
I'll just say that again. It's a number one Buckeyes.
yeah. And maybe if the Ohio State didn't have all those marijuana leaves on their helmets, maybe they could win a championship.
They're very relaxed people. They're very relaxed people. Their eyesight is perfect. There's no glaucoma. They're always hungry though. Uh, very
Yeah,
rich.
yeah. We like to rib each other, but you know what? If you ain't first, you're last. That's all I can say.
Yep.
But I do like those Buckeye candy. That's really good. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so if
Uh,
you're not a subscriber to Brian, go check out his channel and go see what he's doing and look forward to what he's going to be doing in the future. He's got a lot of stuff going on, and
a lot.
let's help get him to 4,000 watch hours so he can get monetized. And
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
always one of the biggest milestones for a YouTuber, and it's pretty exciting when it happens. And then you can start collecting in that 37.5 cents a day.
Well,
Urban
I'll
Meyer
use
has come to
that.
Jags now to coach the Jags. Yep.
Yeah, that was hard. I
So
couldn't believe that.
yeah, so they'll start losing.
I'm hobby farm. I am at 20, lower 20 some hundreds now, like 21 or 2200. I'd have to look, but I mean, I basically say I'm halfway there. So
Yeah,
you
and
know,
it'll go pretty quick. All right, NKY honeybees, glad you could stop by with us. We're probably going to be wrapping this up pretty soon. We're at the 1 hour mark, so um, let me know if you like this kind of format. I thought it would be a great idea. I was trying really hard because Brian was like 900 some. I was like, okay, we'll do Brian first, right? We'll get him to 1,000 maybe with this, and then he had to go blow up his channel and get 1,400. So it was like,
I,
doggone it.
I didn't do anything. It to me it this, like I said, from last Saturday to now, I just
Yeah,
shake my head.
yeah, it's amazing. It's really amazing. So
Robert, you
yeah,
take care.
thanks, Robert. I appreciate that. And hey, you're a member, so I'm going to put out a member video and ask all the members when is a good Friday for you guys, and you can communicate back with me, and we'll get you scheduled. And that
Mhm.
way, I think it's better than a shout out video. I really do. And people will
Yeah.
see this live stream later, and they'll watch it and everything else.
Hmm.
That's true, Rick. But he'll just have a nervous breakdown or something. He'll get a
He
really good quarterback. They'll do really good, and then he'll have a nervous breakdown when he leaves or something, when he retires. He's
he
done
was
that
having
everywhere.
some, he was having some health issues. I know at Ohio State, and his wife and kids were like, enough is enough. So
Yeah. Okay, Margie. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you. Go enjoy the other chat. Hey, we got a new member. Believe on the
oh
cross.
wow,
All right. That's
that's
awesome.
Tony.
Yeah. Thank you
Now,
so much.
do you know who Tony is affiliated with? I will say. Do you know Lazy Acres Homestead?
Yeah, I've heard of
April
Lazy
and
Acres.
Glenn.
Yeah.
Tony is he's family to Lazy Acres.
Okay. Good deal. And we got Narrowway Farm.
Oh
Good
wow.
to have you. Doing homework, can't stick around. That's okay.
Oh,
Hey, thanks for coming in to say hi. I appreciate it. Because you didn't have to. And I really appreciate you taking the time to
mhm.
do that. Just like everybody that's here tonight. I really appreciate the time that you took to spend some time with me and Brian and getting to know Brian a little more. And it was good. It's been a good time. And it's always exciting getting new members. So hey, there's Kevin at Castle Hives. Or no, I'm all messed up. I was thinking it was Kevin at uh,
Lazy
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 Pond
Pond.
Farms. That's like,
Yeah.
it was Castle Hives. Brian at Castle Hives.
See, got all excited. I'm gonna text
Yeah,
him now and say, see, right in my shining moment, you went and ruined
yeah.
it.
He let you down. You can't count on the Brotherhood of the Hats, can you?
See,
So you got
yeah.
his own hat. He got his own hat. That's the issue.
Well, now that he got his own hats, it's like since he has his own clothing line, he feels
Hmm.
he doesn't have to join these live streams. He can just do his own thing now.
Yep, yep. He just got over 4K, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And man, I'm hoping it won't be long for us to get to 4K.
Yeah.
We're 3.31 right now, so got a little
On
ways
your
to go.
channel?
Yeah, 3.31. Yeah, man, I'm rolling. It's his way.
You're not monetized?
No, 3.31 subscribers.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say I see the super thing and all that, and I'm a member
Yeah,
in that. Yeah. You're
yeah, I'm
talking about
monetized.
subs.
I'm talking subscribers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I was talking about Kevin at Lazy Pond Farms,
yeah.
legitimately this time at 4K subscribers.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, his second channel, the hunting and fishing,
Hmm.
he already hit 4,000 hours.
Yeah, he doesn't have the subscribers yet.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
we'll give him a shot at talking about that when his turn pops up.
Right.
I'd have to find out when he can do it. He's usually hit or
Yeah.
miss about when he can be available. He's got small
Busy.
small children, and he's got a lot going on right now. All right,
Yeah.
Rick, appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for taking time to visit with us, and really appreciate it. So I think my puppies are waking up. and
Uh-oh.
I hear whimpering and little growling, and oh,
I
they're out in
hear
the
him.
kitchen. They're out in
Uh-oh.
the kitchen. I think my wife already got them. All right,
How
but
old are they now?
I think they're about 8 weeks,
Oh
and
my.
it's worse than having little kids in your house, little babies.
Yeah, that's busy
Uh,
time.
yeah, because you can put a diaper on a baby. It's going to be a while before our floors are clean again.
Uh, yeah, that's very
Brian,
true.
I really appreciate you. I appreciate your friendship, and you know, it's going to be okay. You're gonna do great with your
Yeah,
channel, and things are, it won't be long. You're going to get monetized, and we're going to be praying for you, that God will bless you in everything that you do, and and take care of other situations that need to be taken care
yeah.
of.
Thank you, Doug.
So you're a good guy, Brian, and I really appreciate your friendship. So um, there's you know growing up in Maryland, living there for 32 years, and then moving down here. Um, I lost all my friends, right? And I've had a hard time finding friends down here, close friends that I can say, hey, that's
Yeah,
my best friend. But folks like you, Brian, I've got friends, and I appreciate
I
you.
feel the same way. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna drop you down there, Brian. Anything else you want to say before we leave?
Just thank you to everybody. Everybody that supports my channel. I see so many names in here that I know. I just want to thank everybody. So appreciate all the support.
Yep. Hey, you kind of froze up. Maybe it's just on
Oh,
my end. All right. Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna drop you down,
okay.
and appreciate you. And I
All
hope
right,
you
Doug.
get your
Thank you so much.
4,000 watch hours really quick. So,
Yeah.
all right. So that was Brian at Castle Hives. Most of you know him. Most of you love him, and go help him. Try to help us get him his watch hours. Tony, believe on the cross. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a friend. Appreciate you, Mary's Ranch and Wild Cooking. Thank you so much, and love you guys. And don't forget, His way is the best way. We'll see you next time. God bless.